Welcome back everyone with the noise of a generation, the iconic saucer of Dr. Wily. We are here with Megaman 5 and we are going back to the castle of Dr. Wily because, as always in the classic series, Dr. Wily, in one way or another, has to be the final boss of this adventure. And my absolute favorite theme of this freaking game, it's here. I love this. Fuck off, Capcom! Come on! This is just... this is unfair. It's a 50-50 chance of falling into your fucking death. And as you can see, I have taken that death with pride. I didn't rewind, and there it is! Dickhead moment number 2. 2 distant death moments in the 4 screens. At the very least, the Legacy Collection seems to be very kind with the... continues this tradition of being very, very kind when it comes to life drops. Like, seriously. It needs to be studied. Either I should find a way to replay the old NES versions to see if I am this freaking lucky with life drops as I am right here. Yeah, I think someone can confirm if the RNG was tangled a bit. I don't know how to look up this stuff. I could try and probably end up with in a dead end of nothing accomplished. Oh, come on, stupid freaking... These freaking things, they're just small enough to be annoying. And here we go. Poor Super Arrow has not seen much love in this run. But that's also because I prefer not to use it, considering it's a weapon. It's a weapon and the final boss is actually weak to it, so I prefer keeping my energy. Although it's already kind of halfway done. That's another issue, the Super Arrow is so useful that it basically drains like nothing else. And we are back to Dustman stage, apparently. I think they wholesale took that section from Dustman and just probably changed its colors a bit. I should look back at the Megaman 4 footage to see if this is actually the Dustman section just recolored. Oh my god. Crusher stages, we do love them. But yeah, apparently Wily was very, very, very salty about everything that happened in Megaman 4 because his plan to basically blackmail Dr. Cossack into collaborating got screwed over by Protoman freeing up the Kalinka from his prison. And yeah, I am grinding for energy, but apparently they don't want to drop big drops, so yeah. Fuck off at this point. Grinding in these games is always kind of a bit of a chore to do. Unless there's only one exception, and you're gonna see that later on in other games. Because I do enjoy grinding one specific collectible, because it actually has some uses and it drops like crazy. Am I going to die here? Let's see. I hate these freaking enemies. They always put in the worst possible places. And it's time to go with one of my absolute favorite bosses in this series, honestly. The Totem boss. Now, as you can see, it is a stationary boss. It just shoots out these platforms that you basically have to also use in order to reach his head. And you have to basically time your shot with your jumping in order to get to the platforms, and also be very careful about the enemies constantly dropping from its head. And honestly, I think this is a very good challenge. It's new, it's something that was really never been done before. It's a very creative balance of shooting, jumping, and hitting the enemy while also avoiding stuff. Really, this is excellent. I have nothing to say. This game has the best fight in the entire series, honestly. And I managed to completely Mega Master it. I wasn't planning on doing so, but it did work, so yeah. I'm gonna take that feather cap on my hat. for whatever it counts. Oh my god, there's one thing that I'm gonna be glad once we leave the NES era is that I will not have to worry about this freaking screen flashing all so much. I am not bothered too much by that myself, but I know that some of you might be, so yeah. Enjoy all those flashing warning, because somebody has to do that. And we get ourselves a new underwater stage. I like how they introduce these stages now, but they don't give us Rush Marine anymore. I gotta guess somebody just figured out it was kind of extreme to have an entire submarine in a water stage. Kind of negates the whole point. But honestly, I don't mind. Games like Megaman should give you power-ups that allow you to just skip challenges. It's inherent. They all have limited power usage, so it's not like you are going to be abusing them all the time. If you waste the energy, you wasted it. And honestly, it's a risk and reward. Do you risk consuming all the energy for that section and maybe having to platform a subsection later? It's up to you, honestly. And you can also just not use those power-ups. If you really want to go with all the Yoku blocks shit and all the platforming heavy sections, you can just do that. And I am very wasteful about energy right now, but I never stop and think about, okay, I should stop, change my weapon, and actually gather the energy that I need. And this section. This is the worst section in the game. You get here, and you have this freaking stomping robot placed in the worst possible position, and your space of maneuvering to actually get past this guy is very small. And you can't also you can't dash slide anymore under it, because you're either gonna fall into the spikes or going up or going over the ladder. So when you try to slide over the ladder, what happens is that you basically start climbing off the ladder. So what you need to do is basically hit shit. At this point, I died way too much in that place. And yeah, I gotta abuse rewind here, because fuck everything. I don't really want to force myself for death and having to face that guy once again. And they put one other one right here. Just horse shit. And you know, at this point I might as well just nah. I gotta be conservative, because I only have 2 of them. I can eat to death here because there's a checkpoint. This is another weird boss. Like, I'm not gonna try on that much because I have energy, but what you need to do is basically shoot the gyro wave inside those opened air shift in the on the side. And this thing is so freaking big. You can actually go and you can see his attacks coming all that much. Granted, I am not exactly doing a best job in avoiding stuff at this point, because I'm actually very tilted right now, but yeah. We got past it, that's the important part. I know it's not exactly the most professional playthrough of Megaman 5 right now, but it is what it is. Fortunately, he seems to be very generous about giving us E-tanks. It's not the Megaman 3 level, but at least it's something that you can actually deal with. And we are getting very close to the boss rush section of the stage, which means we're gonna have to use the M energy tank. If I had to listen to all that noise, you should too. And it's time for the boss rush once again, which means I just don't care about showing the full boss fights once again. Let's do a quick cut of everyone dying and move past this. Let's see what the boss is in this stage. And it's this giant press machine. This is a boss that you're gonna really enjoy using. Yeah, you have to hit the capsule on the upper side. And be careful about that pit in the middle. See, I can eat a death when I actually deserve it. But that is otherwise this boss fight is actually not that hard. Just keep moving in order to not be crushed by this thing. I don't think it kills you. Right? I don't think it insta-kills you. I think it just does damage to you. But either way, it's better to not be squished by the Wily machine over here. Come on, just come down here. And yeah, its weakness is basically the Mega Buster, so just go with it. If you wanted the weakness of the Totem Boss, it was the Crystal Shot. I just went and used just the Mega Buster, but as you can saw, the Mega Buster fully powered up did a lot of damage to him, so it's not that you really need the Crystal Shot, but yeah. At the very least, I made you aware of what the weakness actually is. Come on! It's so damn close. And with that, another stage is over. All that's left is go for the true and final encounter with Dr. Wily. For the fifth and not the final time. Unfortunately, this guy is, as you will see throughout this series of playthroughs, is gonna be very, 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 very persistent. Between him and Sigma in the X series, I don't know which one can be considered worse. But yeah, it was tradition at that point to just have a recurring villain. I think we can all thank Bowser for this. And yeah, I played my hand a bit too uncarefully here, because we're gonna find out in the worst possible way that unfortunately this freaking stage doesn't really have a checkpoint. Yep, it just sets you back at the beginning, so you have to basically avoid these guys one more time. They do a lot of damage, so yeah, if you want to go there and try to do the entire fight without having to abuse the energy tanks, yeah, just be good at avoiding stuff. I don't know why I'm being so conservative with the energy tanks. Might be for the fact that I only have two, but at this point, let's just go with it. The hardest part about this boss is he has kind of a magnetic field coming out from his nose, from his second mouth. It looks like the mouth beneath the mouth of a xenomorph. But as you can see, the superhero just does very short work of this boss, and once you get to this point, all you need to do is just pull out Pete and let him do the work for you. And yeah, at this point it all becomes just a matter of avoiding stuff, and he is one of the easiest patterns to avoid. Just keep your distance, be careful about what the one shot he throws on the ground, and at that point just run around and wait. He has the same amount of life that that you need to basically take him out with meat. So unless you die, you should be able to take him out very easily. The other part about this Wily Capsules fight is that if you run out of weapon energy, then you must wait until you decide to spawn down enough so you can actually get him by jumping. Which honestly is easier said than done. It kind of becomes a long-ass waiting game with this guy. But yeah, as you can see, sometimes he decides to do it. Unfortunately, the waiting game here, but it's not that hard. It's mostly just boring. I feel the Wily Capsule in Mega Man 4 was a lot harder because you were in a very dark room and you really couldn't see where it would materialize. And if you run around too much and walk into the capsule, you will take damage. But here we are! The fight is over! So, Dr. Wily, you'd have to free Dr. Light. Where did you put him? I wouldn't be surprised if this was taken by inspiration from Sonic chasing Eggman. really gave me the same kind of feeling. But oh no, the castle is exploding already and jeez! Wow! Mega Man is very freaking strong at this point. Like, he can take over the entire ceiling with him. But thank you for the help, Protoman. You gonna talk with us? Maybe clarify the situation? No? Just gonna leave. Yeah, whatever. At least you enjoyed the castle crumbling like it was freaking Castlevania tradition. And that was Mega Man 5, a game that is considered to be one of the weakest of the series, but honestly, I disagree. I feel the levels in these games are very damn fun and very creative. Of course, the biggest detractor is that the weapons are kinda freaking lame. And I get it. If the weapons are lame, you're not having fun because you're limited to just a Mega Master. And at that point, the experience becomes less fun because one core part of Mega Man is enjoying the various different weapons, and this game kind of falls flat with that. But aside from that, which I'm not saying it's a big point, I gotta underline that fact. I feel the music is incredible. It's my absolute favorite soundtrack. The level designs are very fun, very creative. They did try as much as possible because they knew, like, the Super Nintendo at this point was already out. The NES was not exactly in the best spot. So at least they went, if this ended up being the very last Mega Man, at least they went out with giving the best they could give in terms of at least level design. And I feel at that point they really succeeded. I can understand if anyone finds Mega Man 2 more fun and more fulfilling just for the weapons alone, and when you get to this point, you're kinda like tired because you went through 4 games, and the 5th game, when you compare to the 4th game, doesn't really change on that much. The formula is now consolidated, and 4, 5, and then we see later 6 are kind of a copy-paste job. You have 8 Weapon Master, you have a middle castle, and you have the final battle with Wily later. So at this point, what is really left with you is how much you enjoy the how much you enjoy the levels, and how much you enjoy the weapons, and maybe how much you enjoy the music, because that can be quite a game changer for at least some people if you really are into video game music. So yeah, honestly, I becoming more and more fond of Mega Man 5 the more I replayed it. The first time, I agree, I was also kind of to it. I wasn't really fond of both 4 and 5. To me, they were the weakest. But as I look at them right now, I feel they are much stronger than what they actually people say around. Might be just be an apologetic contrarian, but that's honestly how I feel like. So, 5 games down, 1 more game left before we leave the NES era, and right next to it, it's Mega Man 6. Stay safe, everyone. I am Marcus and I see you with the next game.